As we all know, when it comes to the game of life, sometimes we win and sometimes we lose. And when we lose, here's what people like to tell us. It's okay, there's always next time. You may lose the battle, but you're always going to win the war. Every loss we suffer can be translated into a learning experience that will deliver our ultimate victory. When we frame it this way, we're never a loser, and we're always a winner in waiting. This video is a story about how that can be a problem. When I was growing up, I always felt incompetent in social situations. At a party, I'd be that invisible kid in the corner of the room. The cool thing about being invisible is I get more people watching time. There's that guy who's way too cool, there's that girl who's way too popular, and there's that social butterfly who's literally working every corner of the room except my corner. They're all clearly more likable than I am, and I'm jealous. I wanted to fit in. So I started trying to figure them out. Since they're every bit as human as I am, there must be some objective qualities that I can mimic. Are they funny? That means I need to develop my sense of humor. Are they confident? That means I need to train to become stronger. I took these traits I identified and I brainstormed a large bucket list of activities that can help me develop these traits. The path forward is now clear. I do these things and I'll become less of a loser. I think self-improvement is great. When you embark on a self-improvement journey to try and become a character that you think other people will like better, you're probably doing it for the wrong reasons. It's hard to be happy when the person you're trying to mimic is always a little bit ahead of you. Even if you work hard enough to surpass that one person, who's to say you're not just going to pivot to the next person on your target list, and life just becomes an endless slog of social ladder climbing. You can never win by playing somebody else's game, and if winning is what makes you happy, then you're in for a lifetime of discontent. Now try to imagine a world where your happiness does not depend on your standing on the social ladder, but instead hinges on how true you are to your intentions. So I used to hate the stereotypical advice of just be yourself. If I wanted to be a YouTube star and I'm currently not a YouTube star, how is being myself going to help me get anywhere? If I could go back in time to debate my younger self, I'd probably talk about how not all intentions are made equal, and becoming a YouTube star is a poorly designed intention. Becoming a star is an extrinsic event that happens to you, and while your actions can increase the probability of such an event, it's correlation, not causation. So no matter how hard you work, you're always going to be in a state of mental stress, because you can never be 100% sure whether or not your actions are actually making a difference. Lingering doubt is what drives men insane. Instead of intending to become a YouTube star, I can intend to share philosophical ideas, which is essentially what I'm doing with all this camera stuff. Making YouTube videos is just one of the ways I do that. There are a myriad of other ways I can also stay true to the same intention. I can have philosophical conversations with people, and maybe on a podcast, or I can write philosophical articles and publish them on a blog. As I seek out these different ways to share philosophical ideas, I am creating opportunities for people to resonate with me. And if I am deliberate enough in my practice, I may even become a star. But the key difference is, instead of feeling miserable every step of the way about how far I am from the start of my desire, I rest happy knowing that I stay true to my intention of sharing philosophical ideas every time I hit the upload button. We're all going to have days when we're just drained, no more philosophical ideas, and all I want to do is sleep. But sleep makes me feel weak. It takes me away from pursuing my intentions, especially if it hits during odd hours of the day. I can't even tell you the number of times I had to Google, how do I feel less sleepy? How do I avoid the afternoon crash? Society also doesn't seem to value sleep all that much, but having the right environment for a good night's sleep is literally the foundation of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Let's pull up a diagram of Maslow's pyramid here. I think for many of us who never experienced war, famine, or poverty, we sort of take the bottom two levels of the pyramid for granted. And most of our struggles in life take place in the upper echelons of the pyramid, in trying to find love, belonging, and esteem. But just because these needs are important to us doesn't mean we should deprioritize the simpler needs. So when it comes to setting intentions, you should have some simpler ones in addition to the complex ones. I intend to sleep. I intend to eat. I intend to water my plants. When you take time out of your day to do these things, you're still staying true to your intentions. Let's never forget that we're biological beings, not work robots, and we intend to celebrate the primitive act of just being alive. Once you have all your intentions in place, you might find that some things you're currently pursuing aren't good fits. Just know that it's perfectly okay to give up on things. Like I had the intention of becoming an all-star in competitive partner dancing. For the same reasons as becoming a YouTube star, it was a poorly designed intention. And it brought me mental stress and unhappiness. If you watched my previous video about the principles of minimalism, I talked about how minimalism is about letting go of some things in order to make room for other things. But letting go of things doesn't necessarily mean quitting altogether. It could be about taking a step back to rebalance your time. I still dance, but I do it with the intention of building a local community of like-minded people, which is both more fulfilling and less time-consuming than practicing for competition. I managed to get a lot of time back to pursue other intentions like sharing philosophical ideas and sleeping. Figuring out how to balance your many intentions is really the only game that you should be playing. It's a single-player game, and it's a game that only you can win because your balance is who you are.